Hey y'all, so let's get started on Libra. So first, let's look at some sun placement dates for the people for who this video is made for. So this is the sidereal dates of Libra, and this is October 17th to November 15th. So this is for you. And this is also for Libra risings too. This is just overall the Libra sign anyway as an archetype. So we're going to get into Libra ascendant though. The ascendant is the first house of your birth chart. It represents the self, identity, new beginnings, personality, conflict, maybe, head, appearance, and presentation. And then Libra is the seventh house, is masculine, the scales, balance, harmony, social awareness, religion, justice, law, order, relationships, marriage, social norms, skills, talents, measuring, comparison, perfection, religious doctrine, roles, assigning, business, trade, commercial, aesthetics, stoicism, non-astronomical, ignorance, blindfolded, Venusian, but that's debatable, fairness, sometimes even in appearance, legalities, alliances, one-to-ones, kidneys, bladder, colors of gold, black, white, compromise, and contracts, and is also one of the southern constellations originally, yes. Then we have Libra to Vedic balance. Libra to Vedic balance. Libra is the house of Venus, masculine, equinotical, anthropomorphic, upward trending, airy, feminizing, vocal, noble, changeable, a diminisher of estates, the lower midheaven of the universe, public, ecliptic, the supervisor of crops, vineyards, olive groves, aromatics, homesteads, measures, and artisans. Men born under this sign are noble and just, but malicious, covetous of others' goods, average in fortune, losing their original possessions and falling into vicissitudes, living through ups and downs of fortune, being in charge of measures posts in the grain supply. So back to Libra first house, or for any Libra placements, the self, the identity, new beginnings. So the self of Libra, you are a person that lives by all of these things that we've discussed on this slide. Religion is very important to you, like establishing some type of connection with God. It doesn't have to be like, purely, doctrinal religion, but that's how it shows up. Because as an air sign, you are a part of written word or oral communication of written words. There's a lot of literature associations to all the air signs, actually, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. But also, another major part of you is weight and balance and fairness. So you would definitely be the type of person affected by like things like your weight or how you look, and how that makes you look. Like, you're definitely not someone that is okay or comfortable with being big or plus size or not fit or even slim. It's like you would prefer to be fit. You prefer to be like, yeah, you prefer to be very like well kind of looked. Like, you love to even be conventionally attractive. In fact, a lot of y'all are conventionally attractive. And the thing with that is that this can also be a part of your personality. So I would say beware of that, because then you could fall into things like, well, for example, fat phobia or eating disorders, and you could think that that's okay because you have the abilities to measure your own weight and all that type of stuff. Yeah. So definitely be careful of that. But also with you being a masculine air sign, it's like definitely wherever you have Libra, this shows itself to be exposed. But right now we're talking about the sun and the ascendant. So right now we're talking about just how you will go out in life. Like in life, you will even wear clothes sometimes. Now this is depending on your Venus too, but you'll even wear clothes that are very like kind of revealing sometimes. You'll either reveal your legs a lot, reveal your stomach a lot, maybe. Sometimes you'll reveal your chest a lot. Maybe times you'll reveal your arms a lot. But either way, that is kind of how masculine energy shows up. It's, it's kind of like wearing your body in a way. It's like you style the clothes around the way that your body is fitting the clothes. So if it's not doing that, then it looks ugly to you and you don't want it. Another thing about you is that you're the scales and that you're the balance. So, oh wait, did I already say scale? Yeah, I already said scale. So that you're a balance. So definitely, there's a lot of times, a lot of themes in your life where it's like you will. Let me move this up and down just a little bit, just to create some entertainment or whatever. But there's a lot of times where you will be a person that, like, wants a lot of harmony, but this harmony is through, well, things like the law and the order aspect. And it's like you have an incredible ability to like kind of see both sides to any situation, to be appealing to the masses, to be appealing to other people. You definitely have the ability to like always negotiate and always like get yourself into rooms that other people probably couldn't get into. But this is also a point of conflict, much like everything else. So this is where the conflict part comes in. I know we skipped new beginnings, but we'll go back to that. The conflict part of this is that all of these things on this slide right here is going to be up for conflict because there's an external factor happening with all of this. So for example, when it comes to things like even relationships and marriage, like you are the scales, and so that means you are the closest to God that ever was. You are closer than anyone else. You sit up there with the sun and you don't burn. You radiate gold. You're a metal. You're a great, excellent conductor of heat. I don't remember if gold is that much of a great conductor of heat and electricity, but you are someone who conducts a lot of things, and you're also someone who builds the establishment, who builds something in this lifetime. However, because of this, like you can have a skewed definition of relationships. You have a skewed definition of like what does it actually mean to be partnered with people. And so a lot of the times, because there are these even mercurial and Saturn like associations to even the stars of Libra, I just want you to know that sometimes a lot of those relationships can start from a place of deception, can start from a place of service and trying to appease and appeal, compromise, like we've already discussed on this slide, compromise. Even when it comes to things like even religious doctrine, like religious doctrine can control you a whole lot. It could be a whole major part of your story in this lifetime. And the way that social norms are informed by even that religious doctrine, like it can get so like this is another vantage point of seeing the patriarchy. And so you've seen how men are in history when it comes to these things. It's like they can be very oppressive, very like kind of harking down on you. And my thing is, as the scales, you internalize that as the divine order, as the law, as justice, as reasonable, as logical. Because as an air sign, it's like because you are the masculine, you are what came after the feminine. So understand that the feminine in this case being Virgo, you came after Virgo. And so that means that you pick up most of the slack, but you also go out into the world alone. And so sometimes you might pick up a lot of behaviors or pick up a lot of, things that wasn't really associated from where you came from, right? And so this means that sometimes you can even have a lot more violent tendencies, you can have a lot more paranoid tendencies, you can have a lot more stricter tendencies because you know how tough the world can get, especially with those Saturn like stars that you have as well. That's the Saturn aspect of you. You have those problems as well. So that's gonna be another thing that we, like we discussed a lot maybe on this channel, like, how do you, fit into the grander scheme of things in the world. And so yeah, like conflict can definitely happen around all of these different things. Like you can have people like come up to you over stuff that you say. You can have people come up to you or say that they felt offended by things that you have said. You can have people like even look at you a certain type of way or even view you as competition. Now that's another part of your personality and your identity. But I want to say that new beginnings begin when you actually start hearing people who are not just in authority. When you actually hear people and you actually talk to many people and you actually open your mind to being accepting and tolerating, right? I mean, no, I will a more accepting, because in life you are definitely a lot more tolerating, but I don't know if accepting would be the right word. Right now, definitely some of y'all who have maybe healed some of your Libra energy, you found yourselves to be a lot more accepting of a lot of people in this world, or of a lot of things in this world. But most of your lives, it's like you will mostly be tolerating or tolerant of things instead of really trying to understand it. It's like things that you view as low on the social ladder or in the social landscape, it's like you will not really pay attention to that much. But those are the key. But those small things, Mercury, Saturn, those small things are kind of the things that you will have to like pay attention to, because they will show back up and rear their ugly heads at you. So extra. In Babylon, there are the scales. They were associated with the sun god Shamash, who is also a god of truth and justice. In Greece, it is seen as the scorpion's claws. It has also been attributed to the god Themis, a god of divine law and custom. So Libra, this is your video. Definitely we'll be back with more stuff. Always come back to this to write down the notes. But I will see you in the next one. Yeah.